I'm Braylon Edwards, and this is NFL Players Second Acts Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFL Players Second Acts Podcast. I'm Peanut Tillman, and we got Motown's mayor right here, Mr. Roman Harper. What's up,
that's
baby?
me, dude. I've
That's
only
you.
been to Detroit like twice.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? If y'all want to vote me in, I'll do it. I'll clean it up.
There you go.
It's
you
nice
need
out
to.
here. Only thing I can't change is the weather, which is pretty cold right now. It's just...
I've been trying for 41 years.
You've been trying for...
41 years.
Okay, our next game's already trying to tell us. Let's hurry up and get to it, man. First and foremost, let's get out here to our listeners and all of our viewers, wherever you pick up your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, or the iHeartRadio app. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating, give us a review, click that follow button. Also, leave a couple comments. Tell us how we're doing. We love to keep bringing the heat, man, and we need the heat right now. It's a little cold outside. Peanut, who is our guest?
It's cold outside and it's cold in here, but I do believe this next guest is going to bring the heat.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, like I did that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. So
you rapped earlier. It was terrible.
Shut
What?
up, dummy.
It was
Shut
terrible.
up, dummy. Shut
Terrible.
up, dummy. Anyway, back to the show. He was the third overall pick in the 2005 draft.
Yeah.
Out of Michigan. Still holds the school's all-time leading or he is still the school's all-time leading receiver.
Didn't know that till I read that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, played 9 years in NFL, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, and now he's an author, and he's probably Detroit's biggest voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Braylon Edwards. Welcome to the
Appreciate it.
show,
Thank you, man.
baby.
Thanks for having
Welcome
me, man.
to the show.
Welcome to the city.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a little
Thank
chilly
you.
outside, but bro, you played in Chicago, so
I
knock
did.
it off.
I
knock
did.
it off.
I'm from Alabama, bro.
That's why I ain't bother you. that's why I left you alone. I said I poured it over
I was
there.
like,
I'm from Alabama, and we soft.
Yeah. I mean, it's just hot. Like
It gets cold in Alabama. It gets down to 40.
Yeah,
Okay,
but like not right now though.
that's true.
So
right
when
now
you-
it's about 75.
Yeah, it's 70s, 80s.
Okay.
So, and I live in Charlotte now, so it's in the 70s.
You
Charlotte,
will
80s.
always be in the South guy.
Always,
You
I
would
will
never go
always
anywhere
be a
else.
South.
North Carolina is a beautiful state. I was out there for that Dreamville Fest, J. Cole's
Oh,
Dreamville
yeah,
Fest
that was in Raleigh.
Man, me and my girl went. Beautiful time. I just love the greenery, the trees. It was
Yes, I was actually in Raleigh and didn't know the dream. Like I knew it was going on, but I didn't really think about it until I was staying at the hotel. I saw Alvin Kamara and his people were
Okay.
there. And it had a whole bunch of the people from Dreamville staying at the hotel. I was actually at a wedding.
The AC?
Yeah,
Yep, AC.
it was actually.
That's where we stayed.
Didn't
Small
even know.
world.
Small world.
The
We'll
smallest.
exchange information after this.
Okay, deal. Yeah, for sure, man. That was it was just crazy. But
Yeah. So
you want to tell this whole first story?
Yeah, I gotta ask him though.
Okay.
Okay.
I tell you what, you ask him since you're doing my job, so I'm gonna let you do it.
No, if you want to do the funny story, you go ahead. I was gonna go to football, but I'll let you do the funny.
Speaking of
stuff.
funny, I can't wait to get to Spice. I went to high school with Spice.
Really?
Down the street.
Yeah, we did our last podcast, and he was calling me on the phone. I talked to him the other day.
Spice he's been the best. I met Spice when I was 12. Been friends ever
So y'all
since.
been friends? You've been friends with Dub that long?
100%.
I did not
Yeah,
know that.
100%.
You guys went to the same high school.
Yep, went to King. I was a
Were
freshman.
you there yesterday or last night?
No, I was not.
I called him when I got in town, and he's like, I was like, yeah, man, I'm in this, I'm on vacation, and I'm in Detroit. He was like, come on, man, chill out, Ran, relax. It's Detroit. What you doing? He's like, I'm in my old high school. Come through. I'm like, no, I'm going to my hotel right now.
It's funny. It's literally down the street, but right now with all the traffic and
Yeah.
block
Things are
things
blocked off. A lot
it
of
would
stuff
take
blocked
forever to
off.
get
It'll
over
take you
there.
forever to get there.
But if it's no traffic, 4 minutes you get down high school.
Yeah. So what I do want to talk about is the YMCA. There was an incident
It was.
that happened. There was an elderly person that was, I would assume we could say was being attacked.
Yeah.
And you stepped in and stepped up to get involved and intervene to help this person. What made you want to get involved and help this person being attacked?
Us three are around the same age, and this newer generation, everything is recording.
Yeah.
Like this new era, 24, everything is recording. People aren't helping. People are, like standing and watching and not doing anything. And I've always complained. Like
Yeah.
when I see things online or when you see things on a post, it's like, why are they recording? Why won't they help? Why won't
Yeah.
they step in?
Why they just
Exactly,
let
yeah.
that happen?
100%. That's why the Alabama brawl was so special because people stepped in. You know what I'm
did.
saying? So
Shout out Montgomery right there.
100%.
Shout
Montgomery, there
out.
you
Shout
go.
out. It's right down the street from me.
respect. There you go.
Thank you.
So when
Took that hat off.
man, it's go time.
Let's go time.
But instinctively, I just think some people are built like that. I think football players are built like that.
Hell
just
yeah.
Instinctively go do call to action. So saw what wasn't right and I made it right.
Yeah, I read that article too, and you were like, I mean, it's just what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Just like the old elderly man, this young dude jumping on him is just like, hey man.
Dude was young. Guy was about 20, 22 or so.
Yeah, I think he was like 22.
Yeah, he was in shape. Other guy was like 80 or it's like 72,
Trying
73.
to flex on him.
And
It was all about loud music.
That's exactly what it was. And this is the other side of the thing. I couldn't say this when I was on the news and other places. Sometimes, like, stop trying to enforce rules, though. Because you never know how people are wired. You never know.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, don't go and be all, hey, turn that down and yelling at people. You never know how people are wired. I'm not saying what that guy did was right. It was totally wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes just mind your business. Like,
Yeah.
How long were you in the locker room for? Just put your trunks on, go swimming, or take your clothes on, go home. Like, sometimes stay out of people's business. But it was the right move. And I'm glad the guy's okay. He actually made it out the hospital a couple weeks ago.
Good.
So I want to talk about this because you were going to mention, I guess, the first time we played.
Yeah.
75 yards to the crib, first play.
Tore my ACL in 2005. It was my rookie year. I tore it in December, actually on my mom's birthday.
Sorry about
December 4th, Jay-Z's birthday too. Worked my way back, went through the rehab process. First time I'd ever been injured, so didn't know what to expect. I thought my career may be over.
Yeah.
Obviously, now ACL is nothing. But got all the way back. First game of the year going against Reggie Bush, obviously the Saints, but it was Reggie's first game. I knew Reggie personally, and I'm excited. First play of the game, 75-yard touchdown I caught. It was a motion post route.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, 75-yard touchdown. I'm excited. It was holding on our left tackle. I was like, this is going to be a bad season. Like, this is just an omen. But I remember looking
That
at
one play, you just knew it was going to be a bad season.
I did. We finished season 5 and 11. I think you guys won by 4, I think.
Yeah.
But I remember looking at the scouting report. I've always been heavy in looking at the scouting report, seeing like sizes, seeing like what guys went to school, seeing, about guys and get into their head. Looking at the picture, I was like, who's this old dude playing safety out here? It was Roman Harvey. He had the white hair. And I'm like, this dude ain't no rookie because it says R by his name. I said, that's a typo. And it's not. Roman still looks the exact same. He still looks great. Pause. But like,
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man. No, but it was funny. It was my very first game was versus Cleveland.
He hit like an old man too.
Yeah, I did. And
grown man strength, he got that still too.
Yeah.
I actually had a sack to seal the game for us. My boy Rob Ninkovich, we had a little call.
He's here.
Yeah, he is
I
here.
saw him last night.
Yeah, he was at the little thing last night with MGM. So he took the tight end, which was Kellen Winslow, who like I told you earlier. I love guarding him because he always talked trash. And he literally talked the whole game.
Yeah, he's not going to shut up.
And he's not going to shut up. Yeah. And he'd be like, oh, I got you on that. I'm like, dude, they didn't even look over here. He's like, I don't care. I'm like, all right, it's just me and him in our own world for like 60 minutes. It was great.
I got 1,000 Kellen Winslow stories, but this is a funny, quick one. So we're playing the Chargers. This has been same year. It's been 06. Tight game. We're out in San Diego. This is before they obviously in LA. And he's yelling at our coaches. He said, hey, run that play. Run that play. Run the play we do in practice because he's trying to get the game-winning play, which is a good play for him. And I'm laughing. All right, bet, give him the play. Don't you know we get in the actual game? He ran the wrong route.
It's
like you asked for this play. You've been running this play. He ran the wrong route. I ended up being open. He's like, hey, son, I forgot.
That's all he had.
That's all he had. Shout out to K2.
Yeah, I appreciate the honesty. No excuse.
Yeah,
he got too hyped.
I forgot.
That boy hyped himself up and forgot to play.
I was like,
you know, though, you're doing like mannerisms like him, though, because that's what he was like when I would be guarding. He'd be like, hey, I got him. I'm just like, I didn't know him personally, but
I've worked out with him a couple times in Scripps
Miami.
Ranch in California.
Okay.
With Sproles and everybody, like that was LT or Damon, and we all working out there.
He
I'm
didn't-
already crying, laughing.
He didn't speak to me my rookie year. So like he's drafted 04. I'm 05.
Oh, he was like big time vetting you for
Well,
only his second year.
Hold on.
Because this is so funny. He got hurt. The motorcycle thing happened the week after the draft. I get drafted to Cleveland, and I'm like, damn, Cleveland. But then I'm like, all right, well, I was like, well, K2, I was like, that's real. But I'm like, all right, well, K2's there, Kellen Winslow. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, be on 10 with him, we'll figure it out. A week later, the accident happened. So he didn't play that whole year. He didn't talk to me. Like when he came in for treatment, I would see him, wouldn't speak, didn't speak. I guess he felt like I was a guy coming in and replace him.
Yeah.
100%. You know the first time he spoke to me?
Same position, not even same position.
I'm sitting in the stool on the shower after tearing my ACL. He came in the shower. He was like, hey, dog. Hey, son. We're going to rehab. We're going to get right next year. Going to be out here. I was like, oh, you speak to me now. My ass is injured. But great dude, had a great rehab process. And that's why I can do all his mannerisms because spent a lot of time together.
Oh,
I totally get it. Yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
Nope.
All right, I want to know how this whole thing with Michael Phelps did, because you bet him that you would have double the touchdowns, right?
True.
And about his gold medals, which seems like a doable thing. You know, if he wins 4, you just got to get 8. You had just come off a big year. What, you had 15 or 16? 16 the year before, and he goes out and gets 8 gold medals. So what was the bet? How did that whole conversation go? And have you actually paid up because you didn't get 16?
I damn sure didn't. I didn't get anywhere near that. Thanks for putting me on the spot. Yeah, it's my boy. He was a freshman in my senior year, so we hung out. I swam a lot in the mornings with him.
Hold on. You would go over there and swim?
Yeah. I swim. They swim. They get in the pool like 5 a.m.
No, they up every morning like 5:30.
That's what 5 a.m.
1,000 yards.
So swim. But I would go and act like I would swim. I could swim, but not like that.
Yeah.
So like when they would get in the pool, I'd jump in, do a lap or two. I'm like, all right, I'm on the platform. I'm on the springboard. Like I'm on the diving board. So we got real cool. We got tight. He comes to that next year. I had 16 off season. I'm talking stuff to him like, yeah, you know, Beijing's coming up. What you gonna do? I did 16 last year. I said, I bet I double whatever you do. So we put 50K on it. And I think I had 6 touchdowns that year. And maybe not even that many. Cleveland, we sucked. But I paid up.
Okay, you paid up.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Oh, okay, I love that.
I
love
up.
that.
Like Mike's my guy.
See, we didn't get the whole scope of
I like
the
that.
end result. I love that you did that, because I mean, last time we seen Michael Phelps, he was at the Masters behind
100%.
behind Tiger, right? Was that behind Tiger on 16?
And that's why you
beautiful.
pay up. So you pay up because you know his access is.
You know what I mean?
If I pay up, now I still have that access too. You don't pay
No
up.
doubt.
Yeah.
I can't go to the Masters. I can't go hang out with Michael Jordan. So
Yeah.
I pay. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, man, I've heard great things about him. Yeah.
Great family man. He's great.
Yeah.
He's a great friend to have. I ran into him in Michigan 2 years ago. I think the Ohio State game, and he was just same dude as a big ear kid when I met him. He was 18 years old. Same guy he is now as a father, as a husband.
Big broad shoulders. That's about swimmers, bro.
Funny story
Perfect for the
though.
sport.
Since we talking about swimming, this dude, you want to see a funny story or you want to see something funny?
He can't swim?
Oh my God.
Well, I can't swim.
Oh.
I'm not saving lives or winning races, okay? But I can swim. Like, I'm good.
You can do what it takes.
I'm good. I'm great. I'm confident. But you also got to understand what the situation is that we stepped into, okay? We're in Dubrovnik in Croatia.
Okay.
Great couples trip.
Bucket
We're
list.
doing our thing, you know what I mean? And Peanut has this great idea where we're going to water polo. I don't know why. But he's like, dude, when else are you going to do this?
Yeah.
It's a lot of energy.
Too much energy.
That's exhausting a lot.
Where were you at? Where were you at?
Not trying to do water polo.
Yeah, because
I was on the boat.
Yeah.
I was on the boat.
I was on a boat.
That's
on
what
boat.
somebody should have been there to tell me. I was like, bro,
I had your back.
thank you, appreciate it, Braylon, because he didn't. So he's like, come on, man. The guy, it's not even about the speedo,
Yeah.
but we had, you know, yeah.
But you're out the country, so
Yeah.
it's all good.
There we go. I appreciate it. You know what I mean?
You out the country.
Thank you.
No
I
judgment.
appreciate it. You know what I mean? When in Rome, do what the Romans do.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
I
we
agree.
out there. And man, we get out there and I'm like, bro, where the bottom at? Like, ain't no bottom.
Yeah, nah.
He didn't know that, but no, bro.
Like,
Just
you thought you was gonna stand
check
in
that.
the water?
He jumped in there and was like,
Nah.
Peanut, it ain't no bottom.
Nah.
It ain't no bottom.
No, you gotta tread water, brother.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
That's the first thing they teach you at the Y. Speaking of the YMCA.
Yeah, I skipped that. I ain't had that. So I get out there, like I know how to swim, but I don't know how to tread.
Okay.
So this is clearly a difference. And so I'm out there and I'm like, bro, this ain't it.
Did
Ain't
you
no
almost
bottom.
drown?
No, I didn't almost
Is
drown.
this
but
like
he
is
said,
this a
ain't it.
D-Wade? Is this a D-Wade? I'm not D-Wade. What was it? LeBron James Carmelo story?
Where they were like on the banana boat?
Yeah, like LeBron had to save Carmelo. He almost
No,
drowned.
I didn't know that.
I ain't know. Yeah, we ain't.
I didn't almost drown, but I did have to
Okay.
use like one ball to throw another ball because I was like, I don't know how to just tread water like that.
Oh my
and
God.
so
that was a good time.
it was a great time.
How did you do? Because that's not something
I
you were
was
trained
straight.
to do.
I
You
could
straight?
tread. Yeah,
Okay.
I could tread. I'm pretty straight at it. I mean, I ain't winning no gold medals or nothing like that, but
Yeah.
I'm decent.
But when you couldn't
You
get on the
represented,
duck,
I can tread for about 10. I can tread for about 15 minutes.
Okay, you can survive.
So I can survive.
You almost couldn't get on the little boat thing that the girls were on. You almost fell back in the water and was hurting.
I didn't almost drown though.
Oh.
Anyway, forget all that.
You didn't deny that you almost fell.
Yeah, I did fall, but just
it was bad. It was embarrassing for both of us, honestly. Yeah. It was more for me.
No more trips to Croatia.
Yeah, no.
What I do want to know, I won't do water polo no more.
Yeah,
okay.
Me neither. What I do want to know is who's the most, the biggest celebrity you have in your phone right now. Since you name dropped a little bit, who's probably the big celebrity you got in your phone?
Bat phone, The Rock.
Okay.
On the bat phone.
Okay.
The bat phone, The Rock. Yeah.
Most folks don't admit to the bat phone no more.
Yeah.
I mean,
bat phone,
come here, dog.
I low keyed it. I tried to let it go. I tried to let that one go. It's like, okay, yeah. We'll follow up with another question or two or say something different. Okay. That's
my dog now.
That's my dog.
We in Detroit, I got a rep.
I appreciate that.
I got a rep.
All right. So was there ever coming out of college, or excuse me, coming out of high school, I didn't get 1,000 offers. You probably got 1,000 offers.
No, not really.
Y'all were that good. I'm sure you got a lot too. So was there no?
My journey was unique because I don't want to use the word short, but I was short. Basically I was 5'6.5" when I got to high school.
Yeah.
5'8" my sophomore year. I was like 5'9", whatever my junior, and I shot up. And I broke my knee my sophomore year as well, so that delayed me my junior year game. So going into my senior year, I had done the Michigan camp. I did some camps, and it was all MAC offers, and it was HBCUs.
Really?
To be honest, Howard, Hampton, those, and then Central, Eastern Michigan, Toledo. And then I went to Michigan camp the summer going into my senior year and turned it up a notch. And so Michigan State offered, Vanderbilt offered, Cal offered. But I didn't have any major, and I'm not trying to knock Michigan State. I'm not trying to knock them, but I didn't have any major offers.
Right.
And I think blessing in disguise, Reggie Williams, who played at Washington, got drafted by Jacksonville Jaguars in 2004, he ended up decommitting to Michigan and then going to Washington. And so there's a spot to open up. Lloyd Carr offered me a scholarship based on my performance at the camp and then how I played on defense. I was a defensive standout my senior year.
Which is safety?
I went to a small school. I played DN, safety, and linebacker.
DN?
I had 11 sacks my senior year.
Okay.
I had like 2 touchdowns receiving. All my stats were defense. So Reggie pulls out, pause, and then I go to Michigan, and then the rest is history. I had to work, though, to get there. It wasn't easy. It wasn't smooth.
I can't believe you shot up that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 5'7" my freshman year.
How tall is your pops?
Stan's 6 foot, 6'1.5". My mom's short. My dad's side of the family, though, his uncle 6'10", his cousin 6'10", his cousin's brother is 7 foot.
Yeah.
So it comes from that side of the family. But my dad's 6 foot. My mom's 5'3".
Yeah. And your pops, if I'm not mistaken, your pops went to Michigan too?
He did.
Yeah.
77 to 82, got drafted in the 3rd round in 82 to the Oilers.
Yeah.
Now the Tennessee Titans. So football lineage is there. Lineage is there.
Just in it.
So you grew up around the game?
I did. I was always at somebody from Michigan's house. Warren Moon, I was, that's Unc.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Warren, they played in Houston together. So I was always around the game, always in Ann Arbor. Jim Harbaugh, I remember him when he played in college. You know what I'm saying? I was on the sidelines running around. I was that bad kid, but I would find my way back to those sidelines.
Were you able to enjoy it though? Because I know, like, when I tried, like, we got Rome's son here right now, and he's all about football. He's all
He's playing basketball right now, though.
Yeah, he's on the 2K.
But I love that, though, because my dad was in the Army, so I was all about whatever my dad did, like, I wanted to do. He was at work. I would go to his job and just be around all the soldiers and everything. And I remember it, like, vividly to this day. Like, I really wanted to be around my pops and all his friends. So, luckily, or unfortunately, my kids were young enough, and I got girls, so they couldn't just like hang around me all the time in the locker room and whatnot. Do you have like vivid memories of like your dad, the stories, locker room, going over someone's house, like just being around the game?
Like 100%. I remember my dad used to take me in locker rooms in Michigan all the time. I met Desmond when Desmond was a freshman.
Yeah.
At Michigan. So I used to go in there, and I remember
crazy.
Ricky Powers, Tyrone Wheatley.
Tyrone Wheatley toted that thing, boy.
What? Number 6? Like, look, I love, like, Tyrone Wheatley was my favorite player in Michigan history. Like, if he doesn't break his ankle his junior year, the rest is history. But Chimanga Biaka Batuka. But I remember when he was played for the Lions.
Yeah.
So I remember Silver
That was
Dome.
my first jersey I ever bought.
Oh, Carolina.
like to say
Panthers. There you go.
Yeah,
Number
yeah.
8 overall, I think, in 95. But yeah, you're right, man. Just being around Pops and being around the players, learning the game, the coaches, and it just was fun. Like, I actually was a better baseball player than football player. But
Really?
yeah, baseball was my first love. Like, cause my parents, they separated. My mom remarried, and we moved to Georgia, and I lived in Lithonia in the country. Like at 6 to 12. So I fell in love with baseball, man. Atlanta Braves. I love my Tigers.
Atlanta Braves.
I'm a Braves fan. I'm a Braves fan. So
That's because of TBS though. They had that contract.
The
so
Turner.
You could,
Turner Network. Yeah.
you could just see it all the time.
And that was the great years when the Braves were great, though.
they left so many World
So many
Series on the
championships.
table, like Smoltz, Maddox, Glavine, Avery,
Fred McGruff?
Fred McGriff, Dave
McGriff,
Justice,
yeah.
Teddy Pendleton, Deion Sanders,
Yeah.
Ryan Gant,
Yeah. Chipper Jones was young.
Chipper Jones.
Andrew Jones later on.
Yeah, it's just
Bobby Cox, man, like he left too many World Series on tape. They
Leo
only
Mazzoni
won
was
one.
a pitcher's coach. Like they had literally. I mean, we
should've
can
won
name
so
them all
many.
off, but
We legitimately used to watch full baseball games when I was a kid. Like you said, turn on TBS, you're watching anyone to the 9th inning and going to sleep.
yeah, that's what.
Now I can only watch like 7 to 9.
I feel you, dog. I want to know this though. Your time in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You stayed relatively close to. You were there around the time LeBron.
Yeah.
And all those guys were there. And did you feel any like added pressure because of what LeBron had brought to Cleveland? That like, man, the Browns, we need to pick it up too. Or was it because the Cavs weren't that big of a deal either, and then all of a sudden LeBron, the homegrown product, showed up.
Yeah. I didn't feel any pressure at all. Like LeBron was, one of a kind. He still is one of a kind. I remember the Chosen magazine. I remember ESPN. I remember Sports Illustrated, The King, and all that. Like the pressure that he had on him, he had all the pressure. So I didn't feel pressure. Like this guy is supposed to be transcendent. He's supposed to be better than Jordan when it's all said and done. So nah, I didn't feel any pressure with him. But when they turned that thing around, like once he got there, 03, I got there in 05, like they started getting good. Then they dethroned the Pistons in 06, which is my team, so that hurt. I had to root against them, but that's when you started seeing us kind of like, all right, look, like, they not even that good outside LeBron. Like we got to do something with the Browns. Like, we got to win some games. And 07, we finally did. We went 10-6, still didn't get into the playoffs, which is crazy. But there was pressure with Browns and the Cavs. Not LeBron though. Like LeBron is special.
Yeah. I think that's where I was trying
It's
to
like
go
competition though, right?
Yeah.
We had the same car,
It's like
though.
city competition.
We had the same car.
with. We something like them.
So it's funny though. Here's a funny story about that. So we both had Bentley coupes. This is 05. I had a Mulliner. He had same exact car, just different wheels. I remember parking my car in valet, and they had me parked up front. Like I asked, hey, put my car right here. They put my car right there. By the time we came out, I was about to try to get in the car. I was like, my key's not working. It was like, oh no, that's not yours. That's LeBron. I was like, where's mine? So we parked yours down the street. I was like, why'd you move mine? Come on, Braylon. Don't do that too. I'm like, all right, it's levels to this. I said it's levels to this. I said, y'all won't get my business anymore.
Oh, that's funny. Have y'all crossed paths since?
Yeah, we used to cross paths a lot. Then I got traded to, I actually got into it with one of his dudes.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I looked that up in.
I ran into him last night too. You can bring that up.
Oh, well, go ahead. No, tell us what happened.
I crossed paths with him in New York a lot. Like when I got traded to the Jets, he was always, I thought he was going to be a Knick. Like I thought that was going to happen. But just one night, man, we were downtown on Sunday. You get tired of losing. You're just tired of the same old routine.
No doubt.
Practice all week. Try to get a game plan. Think you got a good game plan. Then you go in the game on Sunday, you lose. Like, dang, not again on 4. So we go out, and I just wasn't feeling it. I said, I'm ready to leave. I'm tired of this, man. Why are we partying? I'm sitting here spending money. We drinking and blah, blah, blah. I said, we getting our ass whooped.
Yeah.
Like on day in and day out. I said, so I'm ready to go. I left early that night, and his friend was outside, Edward Gibbons, and it was 1, 2, 3. It was 4 of them and the 2 security guards that are always there. He was like, what's up, B, man? Why you leaving early? I was like, man, because I'm tired of the city. I said, the city weak. I said, this club's weak. I said, everybody weak. Yeah, I'm like, city weak. I said, I'm just homesick. I'm tired of losing. And so they got mad because they're Clevelanders. They was like, man, you weak. We think you corny. I was like, that's not what you want. And so I'm from Detroit, born and raised.
Yeah.
They surrounded me.
This sounds like a fourth grade fight just out of nowhere.
At the
It was.
flagpole.
It was. And they surrounded me, and I hit 2, and the other 2 didn't do anything. I jumped in the car and I left, but I'm from Detroit. Like, it's either you swing or be swung on.
Yeah.
And it was just me out there. Everybody else was in the club party, and then my manager was playing the tab. So I dropped him. The other 2 backed off. I left, and next thing I know, it was on ESPN, and I gave him concussion, and I jumped him. So,
well, I wasn't expecting that, but I mean, I'm glad we're able to address that as adults now.
Yeah.
I saw him last night.
We in our 40s.
You saw him last night?
Saw him last night. His name's Edward Gibbons. He tapped me. He said, "What's up, B?" Much different space now. I was like, "What's going on, man? How you doing? Hope all is well." Blah,
Man,
blah,
that's
blah.
so good.
Yeah.
See, life comes
Sure.
first.
That's what I'm saying. We in our 40s now.
Yeah, bro. You know
He
what I'm
should
saying?
be happy. He got me for $150K, but you know, it's neither here nor there. I'm trying.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
I'm better.
Yeah, I'm better.
Of
You know
course
what I'm
he'd be
saying?
better. Hey, how you doing, Ron?
What?
Nice to see you, buddy.
150. I mean, hey, can I buy you a drink tonight?
Yeah. It stings a little.
You know what? I will say this because we're talking about clubs a little bit. So the first experience I have with Braylon Edwards,
I knew it was a club experience.
It
And when
was.
you said it, I know it was a club.
it was definitely a club.
It's going to be a good one because the sun's right there.
It was clearly awesome though. So this was after my rookie year, and me and my college roommate were in Vegas, and so we like
First,
it might have been Club Trist. And so we're out there, and like me and my boy put our card down. We got a group of like 5 or 6 of us, and we get a couple bottles. We're just trying to do it easy. We're just trying to feel like we fitting in, right? Because I don't, it's the first time in Vegas, period.
yeah.
And dude, I look over, I'm like, oh, that's Braylon Edwards. I know who that is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you are having a glorious time. You were also the first guy that I saw stand up on the sectional.
Oh boy.
We're like, that's how you get out there is you stand up. And so I was like, okay, so that's what I need to do.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. These are all allegedly too. I'm not 100% sure this is Braylon Edwards, okay? But I'm pretty sure this is Braylon Edwards.
It's me.
Okay.
It was me. It was me.
Anyways, it was great. I think I said what's up to you one time in passing.
No.
You trying to say what's up. It was all good, nothing but love. But dude, when I saw you pull the move where like, I don't even know how to say it, but like, it was like, I mean, you had pants on, but like your pants fell down and you were dancing in the club. You had other pants on underneath that, but
Right.
it was still like, bro,
You
this
had
is
2
like,
pairs of pants on?
I mean, he had like his underwears or
okay.
stuff on. Yeah, short,
Right.
yeah. The way he wasn't naked in the club, bro. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is wild.
Yeah, but he was wild, bro. It was
Okay,
like a
I'm-
great.
This is
It
wild.
was a great time
Yeah.
in Vegas. He kind of set the tone and the tempo for everybody else in the room
Yeah.
that night. So I honestly wanted to say thank you for like being that light because it was a great night.
Thank you for being the light.
Yeah.
But you know what? I get what you're saying. Like, so being from Detroit, like growing up, like Detroit is party. Like the area BMF
Yeah.
is from here, Southwest Detroit. I know who BMF is. If you don't, look it up. This era was what Tommy Hearns, the Hitman, like it's a big party city.
Yeah.
So cats been going out drinking champagne out the bottom, doing that since the 80s, et cetera. So I kind of saw that growing up.
Right.
And it just was fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of times when I was
That's also what you were doing.
Yeah.
You were like having a good time. Like you were the light that we all needed to see.
a lot of athletes and a lot of entertainers when they go out, what I noticed when I was younger is like they were scared to have a good time or they wanted to be reserved. I was like, look, like I'm gonna just be me and I'm gonna have fun. I bring my friends around. I hung out with more of my people from like my city and my friends and actual NFL players. I was cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hung out with my boys from the crib, you know what I'm saying? And we would just go out and just
Kick
live
it.
life. Like I'm blessed to be in this situation,
Yeah.
blessed to be able to, take a trip to Vegas or Miami or wherever and drive cars. So we just wanted to have fun. And I had fun and I'm got it out of my system because now I ain't staying up past 10. Like I don't know what y'all talking about. What? Unless I'm watching the show, but I got it out of my system. But it was a lot of fun back then, man. Vegas, Trist, the waterfall and all that.
Yeah. It was my first time in there, bro. And I'm telling you, like, I'm like, bro, this is how I'm supposed to have fun.
Have fun.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had never been around it.
I wish my pants didn't fall down. But outside of that.
It was a great night. That's all I want to say. Moving on though, back to football. How rejuvenating was it? You talked about how whack Cleveland had got for you, or it was weak. How rejuvenating was it when you got traded to the Jets? As a career, as a mentality, what did that do for you?
So it's funny that Edward Givens situation story outside the club. So the week before that, Eric Mangini had asked us. He said, "Hey, if anybody wants to get traded or they want to move, or they want to see what they could do, come talk to me and I'll make something happen." I had been in Cleveland 05, nothing. 06, nothing. We didn't make the playoffs all over 10-6, 07. 08, nothing. And now we're 0-3. So I'm just thinking I need a change of scenery. You know how it is sometimes. You just need that change of scenery. Yeah. New coaches, new voices, new air, new whatever. And so I said, "Hey, coach, if you meant that, I would like to see you. And if you could do that for me." I said, "It's nothing against you. I just don't think Cleveland and we gel, we vibe, we bond." He said, "Okay, I see what I can do." Fast forward a week later, that situation happens outside the club. He calls me into his office at Wednesday, early in the morning. He called me at 6 a.m. I'm like, "What the hell?" "Hello? Hey, Braylon, when you come in, could you see me? It's Coach Mangini." I was all right, bet. So I go see him like 7 in the morning. He says, "Now, we've moved you to the New York Jets." It took everything in me not to just jump up and start like doing the robot. Like I'm literally excited. I'm about to Dougie hit the moves, but he traded me. I was so excited, Ron, Peanut. I didn't even go to the locker room. Like I didn't go downstairs.
You just left.
I left. Like I didn't go downstairs. I left my Sony Vaio. I'm the DJ in the locker room. I'm one of the DJs in the locker room. So my speakers, you can have it. My Sony Vaio, have it. All my cleats, have it. I left everything in Cleveland. Got in the car, called my mom. She said, "I know, your agent told me last night. I didn't want to tell you." So it was great. I go from being 0-4 to 3-1. Rex Ryan was a player, and always will be players coach. Yeah. Somebody you could talk to. Just everything was different. Like from the cleaning staff was different. The equipment managers were different. Like the cooks, the chefs, great conversation. The training staff was cool. Shout out to John Melody. So it was great, man. And then the people on the team, I said, okay, I'm not saying we're gonna win anything, but I'm saying this is a playoff team, and I feel at home. It's something I want to give all my energy to and ball out. So it was breath of fresh air.
Well, you brought up Rex Ryan. Give me a great Rex Ryan story, because you're already really good at imitating people. So go ahead, give me one.
Okay, so Rex loved me because I'm a blocking receiver. Yeah, like I love y'all know that. Like I love hitting. I don't because the defensive side.
You're a defensive guy. Yeah,
100%. So he used to tell me, he's hey, look. This guy, number 24, if you knock him out, you knock him down, I'll let you be late for meetings. Like, I'm like, I missed a couple. But anyway, neither here nor there. So every time I would knock players out or knock DBs out or whatever, or defensive ends on a crackback, I go at the Rex. He'd be like, "Oh," he said, "you don't have to come in till about 9:15 today, baby." But he was great. And then I dropped the touchdown in the playoffs one time. We played the Bengals. We won the game. I dropped the playoff. I come to the sideline. I'm like, dang, all right, I got to figure this out. I'm one when I drop a pass, like stay away from me. Like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out to stay away from me. Rex comes up to me. He says, "Well, you can hit, but you can't catch for So he it livened me up, and instantly it was what I needed. You know what I'm saying? You get out your own head. So great dude, man. He just knows what a player needs, and he's a great dude.
How much does it sting to go to 2 AFC Championship games and almost you're just one game away? How much does that sting?
I love what happens on these podcasts because people, they get on here and they try to not to tell the truth. I'm a blamer. I'm gonna go ahead and say
thank you.
The reason why
I'd be blaming.
The reason why it sucks is because it's Brian Schottenheimer's fault. Brian Schottenheimer's offensive coordinator. The 2 years I was in New York Jets, cool dude, but it couldn't get it done. First year we played the Colts, right? They playing man-to-man coverage. I had 100 yards at halftime.
Yeah.
I had 100 yards at halftime. Thomas Jones, he gets hurt.
Jones, yeah.
TJ, TJ gets hurt. He threw me one pass in the second half, and we lost. It was just the way in which they went about it. I'll give you an example. We get into, it's the first half. We're up 4 points. We get a turnover. So I'm like, okay, cool. We can go for
Take a shot.
Yeah, let's take a shot. Or actually, we're up 10 or 4 or 7, 1 or 2. Let's get in the end zone. They play for the field goal. Guess what happens? Jay Feely missed the field goal. Guess what happened? Peyton Manning. We were up 10. It was 10. That's what it was. We were up 10. Jay Feely misses the field goal. Shout out to Jay, University of Michigan, go blue. Peyton goes downfield in 37 seconds right before the half, and they score. So now, as opposed to being 13-0 or 17-0, it's now 10-7. We get the ball after the half. Don't you know that locker room was dead silent? We're up and get the ball dead silent. But that was Brian Schottenheimer once again, and he threw me one pass in the second half. Second AFC Championship game, defense did their thing. We played the Steelers the second time. We had just played them 4 weeks prior. I had 118 yards. Santonio did his thing. We took advantage because Troy was injured. Troy had, I think you want to say his Achilles was bruised or something like that. So he didn't play in that game, took advantage, destroyed them. In the AFC Championship, changed the whole offensive game plan. Threw me one pass, and it was on the fourth down. I converted, and then Jericho Kotri, shout out to Jericho, one of my favorite teammates ever. 100%.
He's Carolina.
He one of them dudes, man. He one of them dudes. He's doing his coaching thing, too.
Yeah.
But he scores a touchdown. We can't come back. Emmanuel Sanders actually caught a third down conversion, kind of ended the game for us. I'm not saying he had to get me the ball, but why go away from something that's working? 100 in the first half, nothing in the second half. 118 in the first game, and then one pass in the second. So I blame Brian Schottenheimer.
I agree with you.
I accept it.
I actually, we learned from you guys that first year versus the Jets what not to do.
I bet.
We
I
learned
bet.
what not to do, especially playing against Peyton Manning. Because you guys' defense was great first half.
Yep.
But then by like the middle of the second half, he kind of learned what you guys were doing.
Because our offense wasn't helping the defense.
There we go.
Leaving them on the field, they're extending drives.
Yes.
The defense is
And
getting
so
tired.
he
It was
was
on the
able to-
offense.
Yeah, so eventually he kind of figured things out, and then he started getting
Picking
off.
us apart.
So then it was like, all right, well, we got to have enough bullets in the chamber to be able to do something in the third or fourth quarter that he hadn't even
Because it should have
seen.
been us versus you guys.
Yeah, it should have been us.
Should have been us.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
What
Yes.
year is this?
This is 09. This has been 09, 2010 Super Bowl.
Yes. When we played against the Colts.
Yeah.
And so when
Tracy Porter.
Yep, Tracy Porter picked him off in the end zone.
Yeah,
That was just something that he hadn't seen. And so we ran a different version of a man-to-man coverage. So, but we learned from what the Jets did, and you guys had them.
Yeah.
You guys had them, but then you guys just kind of
Had him on the ropes.
Yeah, and now you're over here like Peanut with 2 conference championship appearances.
You
You
got one, too.
Was that a shot at
It
my boy
was.
Peanut?
It was.
Hey, let me ask
Cold
you.
world out here.
I gotta ask you a question.
All right.
How you feel about your Alabama Crimson Tide this past Rose Bowl?
So, number one, you can't play your C+ game or B- game in the playoffs and think you're gonna win it.
This is true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Michigan played better that day, but
Still didn't play a great game. To your point.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
to your point. Yeah.
Like I looked up and like. First of all, Michigan should have been blowing out Alabama in the first half.
I agree.
So that we were only down by 10 or 7, I'm like, shh, we got a
take
chance.
it. Yeah.
I'll take it because they looked awful. And then all of a sudden you keep playing and Michigan hit a big time wall the second half. Alabama dominated the game besides the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, I spent a lot of that second half not watching the game.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of second half like
It was,
Here we
and so
go.
to see that, and then all of a sudden comes down to that last drive, and you don't communicate and you don't perform. Like so, Michigan out executed them. They threw the ball to the running back. The safety didn't pass it off to the linebacker, and that's what it comes down to in big time games like that. And then you got to get the center quarterback exchange right. Like you're not gonna win playing like that. And for you to take the number 1 team to overtime when that Alabama team early in the year didn't even look like what they were going to be on. It was a great year. But then you look back at what Nick Saban said, and he was like, when after the season, like right after the game, he's like, man, shoot, I think we're going to be all right. We're going to be ready to go get this thing next year. And the players in the locker room are wondering about how much am I going to play? How much you going to be able to make, give me this? And he's like, bro, I'm just not in the same place as where they are, and so I don't need to be here.
I think it alludes to what you said earlier about kids today, where we are. They just rather record. They just want to get paid. How much you gonna pay
Tom Brady
me?
just went off about that, talking about the kids the other day.
They're selfish.
It's so crazy that you can be on both sides. We're players, so I'm always for the players.
Always.
Look, NCAA did that to themselves. Okay,
I
being
agree.
greedy.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
the money, the NIL, look, you open Pandora's box. That's on you.
Yes.
But how it opened and things like this, like pushing out the greatest college coach of all time because this is madness and he can no longer coach. Like that's one of the biggest reasons why college coaches are leaving, going to the NFL and becoming coordinators. They said we can't coach. They said we spend so much time recruiting. We're recruiting players during the season. We're recruiting our own players. We got to promise players this. I think one of the kids left Alabama because he wasn't getting playing time, didn't get 150,000 or something, goes to LSU and scores a game-winning touchdown 2 years ago on Alabama.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the moments that like Nick was like, all right.
Done.
And the other thing is that the schedule. So you got because now you have the early signing day period, which is dead smack in the middle of I'm trying to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, how am I preparing for the Rose Bowl and I'm still recruiting to get this last 3 guys in before this early period signing period? Because once that becomes the early signing period, that is signing day. Like, so everything is kind of changing the schedule. It's a lot. It's a young man's game for sure. I'm glad you brought that up though, because that Michigan team was special this year. I give them credit. I mean, the quarterback, the running backs, you guys had like 40 seniors. I mean,
this is true.
5th year, 6th year guys. They benefited from COVID. They benefited from the transfer portal, COVID. This Michigan team was a little bit different than every other one.
And I don't say this because it's Michigan. I don't say this because of Harbaugh or whatever. Like, you'll never see a team like this again in college football. And the reason why is because they only cared about each other.
Yeah.
Like, you look at like this, like Brian Edwards could have went to the league this year. He still came back. Like, Blake Corum could have left last year, but he came back. JJ McCarthy came, like, they love each other. It's not about the NIL. It's not about this. And they always talk about each other. They were a centered team that just cared about each other. And that's how you win without a coach. 3 games, Penn State, then
that's what it's
about,
then
Ohio State. So, like, watching
6 games. He missed 6 total, I believe.
True, but the first 3 don't count.
You're right about that.
But the last 3, I mean, he beat Penn State with Chop Robinson in Happy Valley. He beat Ohio State, but it was just special to watch. You know, because at some point you're like, you know how us old heads are. Like, that team, we'll mop that team. Like, it's good, but that team was tough, man. They had a lot of grip.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about you as a player?
Oh, as a player, I think it's the position as a whole. I think it's the diva.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a misconception of
I totally thought you would have been a diva.
Like, I like hitting, bro. Like, I like blocking, whatever, making first downs, going over the middle, catching. Like, I just love. At the same time, I like getting in the end zone. I like dancing. I like doing all that. I'm not a diva, and I hated when they said that. Like, I play the game.
Play the game.
I play the game. So the biggest misconception is a diva, and I think it's just a tag for wideouts. Like, that wasn't me.
Yeah. So I retired in I retired in 2016. What are you? 2017. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I probably say the hardest part about leaving this game or walking away from it is accepting it. In 2013, you were in New York with the Jets, and they ended up releasing you. I think you had hurt your knee,
ankle,
ankle.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about accepting that it was over?
Like, it as a hell of a question, and I love how you ask it. This is our identity.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing for a lot of us, a lot of guys that didn't necessarily set up things as they were playing and kind of already have the phase out,
I was that guy. I never focused on anything but football.
Same. So I focused on football. Like, football is what gave me confidence to talk to women.
Yeah.
Like, football is what gave me confidence just to wake up. And I was insecure and shy as a kid. I told you I was 5'6" and all these other stuff. Football gave me confidence. Football, like, when I finally found myself, it was football. Going number 3 overall, I'm like, and so much of my persona was third pick overall, you know, and having this and having that and being able to do this and that. So now that it's slowly but surely being taken, it's like, damn, who am I? Like, damn, what do I do next? Like, when I walk into a room, how am I be perceived? Is it, hey, that's Braylon Edwards, or is it like, oh man, he just got cut, or he don't play in the league no more. Like, so I think for me it was like trying to eventually tell myself that that's not who you are. Mm-hmm. Football is a vehicle. Like, football is a vehicle that drives you to the plane that's ultimately gonna get you to where you are in life for who you're gonna be. So just working through that, like, that was tough. Like, because I had to disassociate myself from the player. Like, I'm way more than a football player. Football actually is a small part of who I am. Yeah. But it's telling yourself that. It's having the confidence. But having my mom, having God, having like my father, and having just people around me, eventually you get there. But in 2013, like, A lot of time in Miami trying to run from that next step.
Yeah. How long do you think that process was for you before you started, liking the Braylon Edwards that you saw in the mirror?
Okay, like 13, I officially retired in 14. 15, I'm working with ESPN. I'm doing some hits with Fox and starting to balance it, feeling good. Like, all right, cool. I'm still in shape, still got money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? I can do this broadcasting thing and we can pivot this and do some other stuff. No pun intended, by the way. And full disclosure, I got DUI in 2016 in 2015 Arizona. So once that finally knocked out my my agent, then Fox didn't want to do anything, ESPN didn't want to do anything for a while. So then I go right back into, dang, now who am I? What gonna do? So it was a while, and it wasn't until I went back to school. I went back to school in 2017 to get my degree, and when I went back, I said, "Oh, okay, all right, stop. What's all this pity party?" I was like, you were something before football. You'll be way more after football. So going back to school is what was like, okay. And going back to school, I started working in mental health. I started working in the digital space again with media. So going back to school is when it finally clicked again. It was like, man, stop it. All right, how many years has it been? 14. This is 17.
What about school made you snap back into it? Because I went back after my second year in the league and finished my degree. I had 3 classes.
Okay.
I went back. It was the best experience ever for me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't working out like a normal football player. I was doing it on my own terms.
True.
But I was normal.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I got so much more time. I had so much more clarity. I could do things on my terms. It was just different. And being in that classroom with other students and kind of just seeing it work. Yeah. And you actually damn, I got a huge advantage because everybody in this room, at least that's how I felt.
Yeah, life experience.
Right.
Yes.
I had life experience.
100%.
Yeah, it was
100%.
Everybody in here is doing this trying to get this education to get their dream job. I'm like, dude,
I already did that.
I got my dream job. I'm just getting this paper.
Yeah.
See, that's what.
But was it easier though?
It was easier for me when I went back.
Same. And I'll get into that in a second, but you bring up something, I don't want to forget it. That's a hard part for us. So many people have to go to school. Then once they go to school route, they're 22. Now they struggle to get the job or to get the placement, and then they get the job that leads to the next job.
Yeah.
They're 45 before they finally get to where they want to be or where they get to their goal, or 50 or et cetera.
Yeah.
What do you do when you achieve your dream at 22?
Yeah.
See, no one told us to move the goalpost back for ourselves. And I think that's a conversation for these young kids to tell them, look, keep moving that goalpost back.
That is a great point.
Because when you achieve it, it's already. So, it's done. So anyway, but why school did it? Because I was able to put energy in other stuff. I was a good student when I talked all the time when I was younger, but I was A's, B's, it came easy. But I saw myself put forth effort in other things and enjoy it, whether it was writing a paper, whether it was figuring out this, or whether it was taking a stance in this class. And then you were regular students that you get away from sports. We just sitting here talking about, some random girl from Oregon and what it was like for her growing up, and this is what she wants to do, or the cat from Maine, Bangor, Maine, and you kicking it with dude. I'm talking to this kid from Bangor, Maine. So I think being able to dive in classes, dive in rhetoric or curriculum, and just meet random people that were not in between those hashes, that 100 by 54.
Yeah.
That's what kind of all right, this is cool.
Yeah, it's life.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. And what'd you get your degree in?
Language and arts.
Language and arts.
Language and arts, 100%.
Speak any other languages?
I speak that cash. I speak that cash. Bitcoin, crypto.
I think that's a great subject, just not for my
Where'd you get yours?
Business management.
Business management?
Yeah. But he already had his money, so he don't need to get a degree that's gonna do that. It's gonna be
then too. It's I'm gonna get a degree. And I'm not gonna, unless you're a doctor.
Yeah.
Unless you get your MBA, unless you're a doctor, unless you're law, unless you're those, you're gonna get a degree and go do something completely different anyway. I want a more multiple experience.
I want to talk about one more part of the transition and the struggle.
Okay.
And that is, you talked about this in your book as well that you wrote. About how bad the reliance on the opioids, and maybe that led to some of your erratic driving. Also, on your Wikipedia, it's pretty open and candid about how many speeding tickets you got. Like within
Lies.
Lies.
Everybody knows Wikipedia lies.
7, 8, 10 year period. You had like, I mean,
lies.
yeah.
I had two. One was extreme though.
Yeah, it was one.
Are
was
you a fan of
extreme.
Talladega Nights? I won't go fast.
If you ain't first, you lied.
It was like 120 and 65. I mean,
65. First of all, why is your freeway 65?
I agree. That sounds like a DC thing.
That's a funny story too. That actually is a story. Like
Look
that
right there and tell it.
So going 125 in a 60, but it's a Bentley. Bentley goes 220. So I get pulled over, and the cop is like, "What are you doing?" What are you?
That's all he said.
He said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Sir, the car goes 220. I was going 120. The average car goes about 120 at 60. So technically, you're driving faster than I am." He said, "License and registration." So he only gave me a ticket for 70. But
Oh, good. See?
but that's because I had signed an autograph, unbeknown to myself, for his son who had cancer. Not his son, his nephew. They came to training camp and I signed some stuff. He was like, "Man, you were very nice, so I'm gonna cut you a break." I was like,
Dude, I mean, but
I said, "Hey, I ain't say nothing. I appreciate it."
yeah,
I was sober though. So it
yeah,
was like-
that's true. But
Yeah.
I want to know about that though. Just your, how bad was your opioid? And
Right.
like you also said, the mental health thing. Like these are all the things that you learned, and it helped you get to where you are now.
Yeah, 100%. It never got to the point of like craziness, but it definitely became a dependency for a second.
Right.
I would say, because you know how Miami is. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're retired, I'm now 2012. I'm contemplating what I'm gonna do. I'm in Miami. I'm hanging out with different crowd, different people. I'm actually getting away from the people that I hang out that I know, like players
like
and
your
all
friends.
that. Yeah, and now you're starting to hang out with other people that are in other things, and you know, you start dibbling, you start dabbling, you start trying things, and it's that release.
Right.
You know, it's like the getting away, the escapism,
Right.
as they call it. So, you know, from 2012 to 2015, when that incident happened in Arizona, and then I had house arrest in this great state of Michigan, 2016, that's when started to clear up. And then when I went back to school, it was good.
great.
Everything cleared up.
But it was me realizing I'm running away from people for a reason. It's realizing I'm not going back to Detroit for a reason. Now, I'm not talking to my mom or my brothers or certain friends for a reason, because I'm trying to escape. I'm not trying to deal with, being mortal. I'm not trying to deal with my mortality. I'm not trying to deal with this sport will not last forever, and what's next? I'm running from all that. So you drink, you do other things, and it's an escapism. But when you come down from that escapism, like it's now you're depressed.
Yeah.
Now you go into this depressed state. Now you retire. Now I'm not even working. So now I'm able to do what I want. So now it's just, if you don't have family, if you don't have God, man, if you don't have good people around you, and that's what I ultimately left Miami in 2014. I come back to Detroit, still working on myself.
Yeah.
But your mom ain't gonna. My mom's from Detroit. She's a strong woman. Like, it's only so long she would let me run. Finally, she looked me in the mirror one day. She said, "Get your together." She was like, She was like, "This is what are you?"
And that was it.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? And so then you like, all right, mom.
Can't even lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had nothing. It's like K2 at that point. So, but by the grace of God, my mom, my grandma, they stayed praying, they stayed working. And you was all right, cool. Like, let me get out of it. So for me, it was a phase.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose to work in mental health, because you see a lot of football players, a lot of athletes, a lot of people in general, it starts small.
Yeah.
And then if they don't have the people around them, man, it turns into something totally different, man. So working with the NFL Alumni Association here in Detroit, working with SMA, working with some other groups. When I went back to Michigan, I met some people over there at the Eastern Medical Wing. So we're working that space for a minute, man. And yeah, good people, man.
Thanks, man. Is there any advice you would give any former player about staying on top of that mental health aspect of it? I think we talk about physical all the time, but the mental part of it, do you think, what advice would you give in that space?
The former players?
Yes.
Don't be afraid to talk to people. Like, and when I say talk to people, it doesn't have to be a therapist. It could be your uncle. It could be your aunt. It could be your grandmother. It could be your girlfriend. It could be your wife. It could be your son or daughter. Don't be afraid to talk to people, because I think we're so ashamed a lot of times, or you're so embarrassed, or you feel that you're being embarrassed. You feel that you'll be ashamed, and so you hide, you corner, and you're cornering from people that are not going to judge you. You're cornering from people that if you get it out in the open, I think once you start talking, once you start having dialogue, you can help yourself. People can help you. So don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Like, we all go through it. We all have some level of mental something that we're dealing with. So don't be ashamed and don't be embarrassed, because it's nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed about. Just talk. Open your mouth.
I love that.
That was good.
I really love that.
I want to
go ahead, Peanut.
I want to know what made you want to write your book.
So that
What was the motivation behind that?
So they came to me, that publishing company, they came to me and my mom before about writing a book, and I was like, because I put that book out at 19. They came to me in 17. I was like, what am I gonna talk about? I'm talking about Michigan and what I did in the NFL and a couple speeding tickets and kids. And also, I didn't like the space I was in.
Yeah. You were still in that escapism.
100%. Like, it was ending, but I still was there. So I was like, the book isn't complete. Like, if I write a book, the book has to have a beginning, middle, and end. Like, this book would have had a beginning, and it would have had a middle. And so I was like, it serves no purpose. Fast forward, finish my degree, start working again, start doing some good things, start feeling good, start working in the space of mental health. And they came back to me again about writing the book. I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I said, and also I talked to a couple people that have written books, and they said, Braylon, it's therapeutic. They said it's therapeutic. And so I said, all right, I'm down for some therapy.
Yeah.
Man, I got to writing that book. Man, I cried. Some of it was beautiful. Because you realize you blame yourself sometimes for a lot of things that aren't your fault.
Right.
You realize a lot of times you blame other people for stuff that's your fault. So it allowed me a chance to like mend some fences with friends. It allowed me to mend some fences with myself and be able to like really look at myself again. And like, all right, I feel good about this, and talk to people. So it was fun, and I chose that because I love Frank Sinatra. So I mean, it's doing it my way. I did it my way. Like you said in that club, I'm gonna always do it my way. It's on my own terms, but it was very therapeutic. It allowed me to deal with some stuff from my childhood in terms of when we moved to Georgia. Like, I'm a city boy. We moved to a country area. Everybody was 2 years older than me, and all these boys grew up together. So when I get down there, I'm 6, get my ass whooped, like 2 years. Jumping, I got jumped. I was small. I was, beat me up. I didn't know how to play baseball at first. So I had to deal with that. I never looked back on that until I wrote the book.
Yeah.
I started writing the book, and I'm like, damn, I wonder what happened when I got 6'3", and I'm in the gym, and I'm just lifting like out of control. Like, I'm trying to be prepared for that moment again. I think that's what happened at the Y that day. I saw some.
You saw that.
You saw
and it just
that,
went back.
100%, and it just went back to that moment. So writing that book let me get in touch with some things I think I bottled up and never even knew.
I mean, that's crazy because
I didn't know y'all was gonna do this to me, man.
No,
Dang.
man. Like, I mean, I'm just listening here.
No, I
and
love it, though.
I have something I want to go to, but what you just said is so important because, my wife has talked to me about dealing with some of her childhood issues or childhood traumas, what she likes to call it. And so how a lot of times when you deal with childhood trauma, like, you bottle it up and like you don't even address it.
Yeah.
It's almost
Compartmentalize.
like, you don't.
100%.
It's not even.
You
didn't
never
even
go
happen.
back to it. Nope.
Didn't even happen until all of a sudden you rehash it, and then all of a sudden these emotions and all these things happen, and you don't know where it came from, and then all of a sudden, you look back on this book that you're writing. It's like, dude, all these things link back to this, and so is it being able to say that now? Did you think you'd ever get to this place when you were like 2015, 16, when you were running? Like, where now you're able to just sit up here and be so open and candid with us? Because not everybody, like you said, a lot of people get on these things and try and lie and sugarcoat. Yeah. You're like, nah, it's this. This is where I'm at.
No, because I was still in that escapism mindset. Like, my dream, which I'm in a better place, I still have this dream, but to a certain extent. My dream was to leave the country and go to the islands. Like, I'm not
be out there.
Yeah, just like live in the islands, man. Like, open up a sports bar on the beach, man, and just chill. Yeah, kind of like Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton. But that was it. But it was still that escapism. I was
still trying to get away.
Because I feel like, all right, cool. You know what? If I leave, if I go over here to the islands and chill, like, I don't have to deal with whatever the past was. Like, I can leave everything in the past, and I can leave it stateside, as they say. But like, yeah, that was to be that then. And to be on this podcast with you guys, man, brothers in arms, and just having and just talking it out, like, it's the long journey here. The journey's not done, but I love it though. Like, I wake up,
it's a blessing. It's
I know
definitely a
Peanut's
blessing.
got one last question for him. I'm gonna get this out. How does it? Tell me about being the voice of Detroit sports radio talk, man.
I don't know if I'm the voice, but
The chosen one,
I appreciate it.
I mean, bro, you homegrown, bro. You doing it big, man.
I love it and I appreciate it. I was just with Jerome Bettis last night and 2 seconds ago. He's down there
from
at the
Detroit, too,
100%. Like, he's a big bro. He went to McKenzie High School.
Oh, he ran me over one time.
You ain't the only one. He's got a bunch of people on the Hall of Fame bus tour. But I just love being from the city, man. Like, a lot of black people didn't have voices on the radio or the sports airways. You know what I'm saying? We shout out to Terry Foster, who was one of the first ones, Drew Sharp. Those guys kind of set the tone, but now to be able to have this space, have this voice, say what I want to say, as long as I'm backing it up with some research, as long as I'm backing it up with some actual facts mixed in with the opinions, it feels good. Because it feels like the city listens. I think even when they don't, like when they disagree, they'll still listen to me and give me a chance. So I love it, man. I'm from the city, born and raised, 313. What up, though?
What up, though?
What up, though?
That's all Detroit.
That's what they say?
What up, though?
Spice?
What up, though?
What up, though?
I got a simple, fun question for you.
Thank you. All this other,
Yeah. We can
Heart
just.
pound
Well,
over.
let me just say this. I
Yeah.
appreciate you being vulnerable.
For sure.
Like it's some people can't do that. I think that's just growth. It shows the growth that you've come, how much growth you've grown since then. You know, so I appreciate
Both you guys married, correct?
Yeah.
Good women will do that. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I got a good one. I'm not married yet, but she's the last boss, as they say in video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
They usually the toughest ones. Just know that.
I'll be calling y'all for advice.
Yeah. Mount Rushmore, right? You've had a successful life. You know, some good, some bad. Who are the 4 people on your personal Mount Rushmore that have helped you become who you are today?
Mom is slot 1, 2, 3, and 4, but my mom,
Yeah.
my stepfather.
Why?
Like, so my dad's always been around. Like, I was just with my dad last night, played NFL. We talked about great guy, but with my dad, it was like sports. Like with my stepfather, he came in at an early age as well, and it just was everything, you know. And it was academics. It was how you feeling. It was this is how you tie this tie. This is that. Yeah, so it was
Helping you become more well-rounded.
100%, and the care was always there. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be who I was today if it weren't for my stepfather and my father as well.
Yeah.
But, stepfather, father is 3. My grandmother.
Yeah.
My grandmother would be 4.
Why
Mom.
grandma?
Yeah.
I'm saying why? Why grandma?
Grandma always made me feel special, and but she never sugarcoated anything. And my grandma wasn't like, "Oh, that's my baby. That's just my baby." Grandma, she'll beat your ass if you need it. Like, she don't do that. Now I know your mama said this, but this is what's going on. Like when I stayed at grandma's house, it was fun, but it also was, you know, you gonna get this discipline because my mom wasn't whooping me until my stepdad came along. But grandma was spiritually like devoted too. Like I never like everything she dealt with. I looked at her childhood. You know, she had 5 kids. She had 5 kids by the age of 23. 4 different fathers. I know my mom's gonna kill me for putting that out there, but everything that she went through at that age, you know, she got into church later and she just kept trucking. She kept trucking. She kept trucking. She kept being the matriarch for our family. You know, she kept us strong. She kept us together. Whenever I would like feel like I was going through stuff in high school, I go to grandma's house, we pray, we cook, man, and you know, I'd be good. Same thing in college. And I noticed in the NFL, when I started messing up, when I stopped picking up grandma's phone call when she was trying to pray for me. In the off season, when I'm coming home, I'm like coming home to come downtown and hang out, but I'm not stopping by grandma's house. So that connection that my grandma and I have, like, I just get these moments where I'm like, let me call grandma. And she'll tell me, hey, don't you know I got in the car accident? I was like, I knew it. Like, our connection is like that. So that's why grandma.
I like that.
I'm over here, like, rubbing my hand and nervous tail.
No, don't. That's, hey, man.
I don't
like
mind.
I said, it's,
Yeah.
I like that, though. The openness, the vulnerability. It's, I think it takes a special person to be courageous and be strong enough to share all those personal stories with us. And I appreciate that. I know Rome does. Thank you for blessing us.
Appreciate
with
you guys, man.
your
Thanks
presence and your energy and the stories, man. This was dope, and I hope to do it again. And I wish you nothing but success and
Same.
post football career. And I love that you're back home, homegrown, being the voice of this great state.
I don't think I ever beat either one of you guys. I was just thinking that. I've been thinking this the whole hour we've been talking. I'm like, I don't think I've ever beat the Saints.
No.
And I know for a fact.
So I got a quick 30-second story so y'all played us.
Seattle?
No.
The Jets?
The Jets.
The snow blizzard.
Y'all played us there.
We got stuck.
And we were on the end zone. It was a goal line play. Sanchez, he threw you the ball.
I was wide. I should have scored.
I don't know how, and I'll try to find it later, but I don't know how. It's like I dove for it, but I think my foot kicked it or something.
And I caught it like
and
this.
You caught it. And I'm just like, and I remember, and I looked back, was like, how the oh my God.
So
I was so mad.
We still lost that game. I think San Antonio scored in that game. But we still lost. I was pissed on that play. You know why? Is when I saw the replay. So I guess I thought you were going to get the interception. So I kind of was like, oh, he thought Peter about to pick it up. And it got through him, and I caught it like this. When you look behind me, there's nobody but the end zone. So, like, I'm looking like, I'm doing like this. Peanuts on the ground right here. I can't remember who was here. It literally, they were over there. It's nothing but end zone. If I would have just fell back.
Yeah.
But I was so, like, caught off guard by catching the pass, I allowed everybody to come back and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, my God,
and get back up there, man. I've never scored at Soldier Field, so I'm still pissed about that. They took a touchdown away from me when I was with Seattle.
Yeah,
overturned it.
That one hurt me. That would have been like one of the few picks that I dropped to get me to 40. I was like, I
finished with 39?
No, I finished with 38. I'd have been only. I call it the 40-40 club. 40 picks and 40 forced fumbles.
That 40 forced fumbles is wild. Like,
wow.
Don't you know? I guess I make this 30 seconds. Don't you know every team I ever played on? Like when you're playing against the Chicago Bears, you already know what story I was talking about. All week in practice. All week in practice, the punch. All week in practice, you got to walk around with the football, like during the halls, like during practice, and they just try to punch it out. If you get it punched out, different fees, different teams did different stuff, but they preach. He's gonna punch it out. He's gonna punch it out. Four pressures or 5 points of the ball. It didn't matter with you. You'd be like this, and the ball get knocked
still
out.
go out. Sean Payton said, "I don't even want yak this week. Just get down.
Just get down."
He's like, "I don't even want it. I'll call a better play.
Right.
If I want more yards, I'll call a better play. I don't even want yak." So you definitely affected the game that way. Braylon, man, appreciate you, man. Next time when the weather's better, we need to golf.
Say less.
All right. I heard you.
Pickleball. Forget golf. We need to play some pickleball.
There it is.
I do also water polo.
Me too. Me too. Well, anyway, man, let's get up out of here, man. Thank you, as always, for our viewers, our listeners, wherever you pick us up at, man. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating. Give us a review. Hit that. Leave us a couple comments. Hit like. Yeah. Make sure you hit that follow button as well, man. Yes, subscribe.
Leave
all
a comment.
Those things, man. Come on, man. And wherever you pick up your podcast, with the Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio app, man. Thank you so much, Braylon, man. You were awesome.
You guys are
dude.
amazing.
You were awesome, man.
Appreciate the love.
You definitely. Man, it's something to be said about somebody. I thought I came in with great expectations and you over-delivered. So thank you for that, man. Great job.
Appreciate you, brothers.
Hey, I'm Peanut. That's Braylon. This is the Motown man himself.
You know this is the Motown.
Roman Harper.
The Motown man right here.
We the NFL. We're the NFL Players Second Act Podcast. We out.